So you've seen the thumbnail, Ask Me Anything, and you wonderful humans really did. Keep on watching if you'd like to know more about me and see me answer some of your fantastic hair-related questions. Gulp. Hello and welcome to the world of Craig. Yes, that's me, I'm Craig, and this is my channel where we get into all things hair and sometimes a little bit of beauty. I love my channel so much. I'm saying it more and more. I say it to people that I meet that don't know that I'm a YouTuber. I say it on here a lot. I say it to clients in the salon. I love my channel. But it struck me recently that you lovely folks out there don't know very much about me because this channel is really all about you. So, and I'm even chuffed that I asked you for questions and you've given me some great questions. Some of them about me, some of them asking questions about me. Yikes. And some of them, I'm not a secretive person, but I'm quite a private person because I am. So some of them are about me and some of them are some fantastic hair and like hair career questions. They are amazing. So without further ado, and I've got my, I've got my one of my favorite colors on, which is a warm brown. If you watched my video, I'll link it down below, which is all about color keys and color theory. Read the comments in that. But anyway, that could be a video all on its own, but that is a great video and I'll link it down below. But that's enough of an intro. Let's get into Ask Me Anything. Very briefly, before we get into your fantastic questions, as I pull up my sleeves, we are very much back where we used to be in the center of my flat. I have scooshed my sofa out the way by the window where we were sat for the summer, for the spring and the summer, and we're back over here. I hope that's helped the sound. I have checked, I think it has. I'm much closer to my camera. Hello. And just to mention that if you enjoy this or you find it entertaining or there's something in there that really helps you, you know exactly what to do. You liking this, sending it to a friend, leaving a comment, all of that stuff really does help me get my content out there. And like I say time and time again, this channel is all about you peeps. So let's start with the first question. There are amazing, and we're gonna sort of whiz through some of these that can have quite short answers because they're amazing and I wanna get through as many as possible. So the first question I've got here is how long would you say does it take a hairstylist to be truly financially successful after finishing beauty school and perhaps even after moving to a new city? 1 to 2 years at least. Such a brilliant question. Thank you very much. So this is relatable to me because I've been a hairdresser for 37 years. This year. I originally trained outside of London. I live in London. I trained in a city that's probably about 50 miles away from London. And I moved to London. I was qualified. I was qualified. I'd been hairdressing for 2 years. I'd had a really great training. And I was a good all-round hairdresser. But then I moved to London and it became apparent very, very quickly that I wasn't as great a hairdresser as I thought I was. And I went to go and work for 2 people that were very classical in the way that they cut hair. They were both from Vidal Sassoon. And we made a deal that if I went to go and work for them, they would retrain me. And that kind of, we call it vardering. So that's a Latin word for watching. That's what they call it at Sassoons. That's what those guys called it. So I spent about 3 months observing them and doing colour for them in the salon. So really in total, my training took about 3 years and then I had to start building up a client base. But the answer to the question is, it takes as long as you want it to take. My advice would be that if you really want it, make sure that you're getting the best training from the very beginning. Great training can be hard to get. You know, when it comes to theory and technique and stuff, of course, there is tons of content on here, but I think it's very important that you have hands-on training on, you know, human beings from the very beginning. Dolly heads are great, but from the very beginning. In my opinion, full-time education in a college or an institution isn't always the best way to start because it can then mean when you come out of that, then you have to get into, you know, working with humans, basically working with clients, and it can knock your confidence, and it cannot be the best way. It can be a bit box ticking, a bit of a box ticking exercise. So it really does depend on the individual, but I would say that if you're really hungry for it and you really want it, then get as much training as you can from the very beginning, and which is exactly what I did, and make sure that along the way that your confidence builds, because I've seen a lot of people over the years. I have trained a lot of people myself, but I've had a lot of people that have come to me who have finished their training and then they need a lot more because they don't have the confidence, and confidence is always key. So how long does it take? How long is a piece of string strong? It's very individual. Next up, let's have a product question. Please recommend a few liquid Amodimethicone styling products, hopefully drugstore, for dry, coarse or thick hair. So in a recent shop up, which I don't actually think is on here yet, but is coming soon, I found something in the drugstore. I found a couple of things in the drugstore. The first thing is from Elvive, and I think L'Oreal Elvive, which might be called something different in a different country. But if you look at the Elvive products or things that are from L'Oreal, if you're in a different country, and I think it's called Great Lengths, and it's a leave-in conditioner, and that has Amodimethicone. And then also, I think coming in that same video that's coming soon, there's a sheer moisture product that has, I've got it written down here, it's a leave-in spray and it's got sugar in it, but it also has Amodimethicone. Amodimethicone is a type of silicone that makes the hair very slippery. I'm with silicone police, if you're watching this, I'm terribly sorry, but silicone in my opinion is a great ingredient. So there's those two. And there are other products, I think, in some of my shop ups, which is all in a playlist, which I will link in the description, that have Amodimethicone in. And then if you want something that's a bit bougier, the Redken Acidic Colour Gloss Leave-In Conditioner, so amazing, super light texture. There's a video about it here on my channel. That also has it in too. This is a fun one. Do I dye my moustache? Yes, I do. Now, and I have done for a long time. Since I've had my moustache, it's always had colour in it. Originally, I coloured it because it was kind of a bit fairer. My hair was quite red when I was younger, when I had lots more hair, and my beard was quite red too, because I'm a true autumn. Dig. So I've always tinted it in some way, but now it is almost completely grey. And please, I'm sure there will be comments that say, oh, you should let it grey. It'd be great if it was grey. Personally, this is about, grey hair or colouring your hair. It's a good point to talk about that. It's a very personal thing. I really don't like my grey, and I really don't want a grey moustache. I understand that some people would find it attractive, but it's not for me. So yes, I do colour my moustache, and I colour it probably twice a week. And I use a product that is specifically for colouring facial hair. It's very important that you don't use hair colour on your face. And I literally kind of put it on, I time 6 minutes, I take it off, and here we are. So yes, I do, and I will continue to, probably for a long, long time. So this is a really, really good one. What happens if you have keratin treatment on bleached hair? Now, every head, I'm a big fan of keratin treatments, of what people might call Brazilian blow dries. I don't do loads of them, but I probably do 20 of them on regular clients, and they're people that have them and really, really love the service. But what happens if you do it on bleached hair? Well, if the hair is, if someone's got bleached hair and it is literally like ramen noodles and hanging off their head, then I wouldn't do a keratin treatment on the hair. It's important that the hair isn't so sensitized that it can't be heated up, because a keratin treatment uses keratin and also other ingredients to effectively laminate the hair. But if you have bleached hair and you do a keratin treatment, generally speaking, it does depend greatly on how it's done. I think that when keratin treatments first came, to sort of Western countries from South America, they were overdone and they could make the hair look very stringy. But I've had clients, and I've had some clients who are in the public eye, I'm not going to tell you who because I get into trouble, who I've done keratin treatments for, who wanted to improve the texture of their hair that was very processed. So yes, I think keratin treatments on bleached hair can be great and they can make it really shiny, they can make it much easier to manage, but like anything you do with hair, it's about how it's done and what the hair is like before you do it. Next question, what inspired you to become a hairstylist? Are you a stylist in the UK only, or do you work sometimes in the States? So it's a two-part question. The first part of that question is, it was really my mother that inspired me to become a hairdresser, my mum. My mum was a very glamorous woman and she used to sit and do her makeup and her hair every day. She had tons and tons of incredible hair and she used to sit and do her hair every day. And from the age of like 4 years old, I always wanted to be a hairdresser. I think there's a question that asks me, what else would I have been if I wasn't, perhaps coming up later on. But as long as I can remember, I used to go around telling everyone I wanted to be a hairdresser. I used to go with we were very, very poor when I was growing up. We were a single parent family and my mum used to save her money and go to the salon to have her hair permed and cut. She didn't colour her hair, her hair was quite grey, but it was super thick and super gorgeous. And I used to go with her to the salon and that's really what inspired me. I've always wanted to be a hairdresser. I'm one of those people that, yes, of course I'm a YouTuber and I do lots of other things, but it's like a dream come true for me. So, and it's never like work. I know that to some people that might sound cliche, but it isn't ever like work for me. And then the second part of the question, what was it? Do I only work in the UK? Well, I have been to America a few times with L'Oreal, with Redken. What else have I've been over to teach some independent classes. You can always hire me to go wherever you want, as long as you pay me airfare and pay my day rate. But the reality of it is I may well be coming to a country that you're in next year because I am education ambassador for K18, which is an incredible role to have. I've just did some hosting at Salon International, which is our big hair expo here in the UK. And that was amazing, absolutely amazing. So I might well be coming to the States in 2025. Who knows? If I do, I'll come and say hello. Another question that's kind of in two parts, and the first part of that question is, how tall am I? Well, I am 5'10.5", which in centimetres over here, and also my age, I work in feet and inches, but that's 179 centimetres, because I know that a lot of you would want the conversion. And then the second part of the question is, where are we? Here we are. What is the best time to wash your hair before a global bleach? Well, I do have videos where I tell you about my global bleaching process. Shampoo the night before or the day of, and love your content. Thank you very much. I love all of you guys that come here and watch my content. So really, I wouldn't shampoo your hair on the day of bleaching it. It's a complete myth to say leave your hair to be as dirty as possible before you bleach it. That's not true. I would say wash it a couple of days before. When you do shampoo it, don't really massage the scalp, but I would say like 1 to 2 days before you shampoo your hair. Don't put anything in your hair before you go to have a global bleach. Coconut oil is not great to put in your hair before you bleach it. I don't know where that myth came from, but that's just a myth and it's not true. So I'd say a couple of days before. Moving on, another fantastic question that is in more than one part. Do I have any pets? I don't, I'm afraid. It would be unfair. I have a very small home. I am a cat person. One day I will have a couple of cats. I absolutely love cats. Someone just slammed their car door outside. I apologise. So yeah, I don't have any pets. I grew up with lots of animals as a child, like horses, dogs, cats, fish, tortoise, hamsters, you name it, we had it. So no, I don't. But I'd love a pussycat. And then we have, where are we? Where am I? I am going here. What do you like to do outside of your hair career? So outside of work, I love to work out. I love exercise. Exercise is a big part of my life. I work out every single day. I do a different discipline every day, a mixture of strength training, resistance, a bit of Pilates. I do some cardio, some intervals, but I love exercise. I like nature, so I like to be outside. If you follow me on my Instagram or sometimes on here on my community page, I might post something that is me outside, or I just like being in nature. I love art, and I'm very lucky that I live in a city where there is tons of it around. So I like to decompress by being in nature and looking at art. What else in here? Oh, there we go. This is the last part of the question. Do you think it would be viable for someone, say in their mid-50s, to go to school for hair? Is the investment worth the financial outcome? Well, again, it kind of feeds into the question the wonderful question I had earlier on. It's up to you. You know, it would be a very bold move. It would be a very brave move. It's a big decision. You'd have to really, you know, I find that people, as they get older, generally, it's trickier for you to take in lots of information. And to be a great hair professional, you need to learn a lot of information, you know, so it would depend very much on the individual. But yes, it is possible. Just like anything in life, it depends how much you want it. Another product-related question. Bonding products, can we overdo it? They are in shampoo, conditioner, serums, treatments, masks, etc. Does overuse of bonding products create problems? Well, the short answer to that is no. It has given me an idea that I could do an entire video on that, and I might well do, so thank you very much. Talking so quickly. The reality of it is that most bonding products have different formulations. In my opinion, I would always recommend K18, and that's not just because I work for the brand and I am an ambassador for them for education. But K18, you're never going to over strengthen the hair with it. K18 isn't a bonder, it's a hair repair product that repairs the disulfide bonds and the polypeptide chains, which are in the cortex of the hair, which give the hair really its strength. Bonding products like Olaplex or other products, they work a little bit more superficially. But really, I'm guessing this question, and I'm just assuming that it comes from a place of, you know, products that use protein. Can you over-proteinize the hair? You know, there's a lot of chatter on social media platforms about over-proteinizing the hair, making it brittle and making it snap. Well, modern hair care doesn't over-proteinize the hair. It's a break room myth, and it's something I do hear from time to time. But the short answer is no. But using bonding products in different things, and they will all be different as well. They'll all be different proprietary ingredients or technology, and they won't be K18 because the technology in K18 is unique and patented to that, just like Olaplex's is. So no, the short answer is you can't. Another question about me. If you weren't a hairstylist, what do you think you would do? That's quite a simple one, because there was a very short space in my I must have been around 10 years old where I thought I might be a fashion designer. Oh, check me out. But it would be something creative. It would be something like that. I have also thought at times when I have had some spare money that I might do a personal training course, but that wouldn't be creative. It would be with people because I love people so much, but it wouldn't be very creative. So I don't think that would really feed me. So it would be something that would be creative. Photography, you know, I really love photography. I love making content. I love producing these videos. So it would definitely be something creative. But when I was, 10 years old, I thought if I wasn't going to be a hairdresser, which I already knew I was going to be a fashion designer. Okay, so we're whizzing through them. Next question. They're making me giggle as I'm reading some of them. They're so good. Do people tell you all the time that you remind them of Rupert Everett when he was young? No, they don't. I think that's probably my accent. I do have a Rupert Everett story, but I'm not going to tell it on here because I'm not. It's not something for the internet, but I'll save it for my memoir. It's a good one. But thank you very much. He was an incredibly handsome man. That's all I'm going to say. Secondly, how can I be the best client to my hairstylist? Such a great question. So I'm sure that lots of hair professionals watching this will have their own idea, but what I've written down here in my notes is that it's a very simple thing for me. It's about keeping still. Whether you're having a haircut, or I'm putting foils in your hair, or I'm putting a global bleaching retouch on, bleach retouch, it's about keeping still. Please keep still. That's what I would say. And I do actually say to some clients at times, I love my clients are brilliant. They are clients, they're not my friends, all of that stuff. But please keep still, because it adds so much time to an appointment if you're chasing somebody around the chair. And I'm sure hair professionals watching this will say the same thing. I see all these horrible memes and horrible videos that I really dislike where people are dissing clients for whatever reason, and I really think that's uncool in my opinion. These people pay us for a service and we must be respectful, and you'll get hairdressers that will say, well, it's a two-way street. Well, yeah, but don't make horrible memes. Don't be horrible to people if someone's late for whatever reason. Anyway, that could be a whole video on its own. So for me, it would be about keeping still. Please keep still, because it adds time onto our appointment. And you know what I think sometimes clients might not take into consideration is that we are often backed up, and we are always thinking in this part of our brain that we want to get a great result, we want to make the client feel great, and then we don't want to keep people waiting. I do not keep clients waiting. I detest keeping people waiting because I don't like being kept waiting myself. So yeah, for me, it would be about keeping still. I knew this question would come up. Let's get spicy. Do I have a partner? No, I don't. I absolutely love being single. I love it. Some people might say it's cynical, but I do believe that we come into this world on our own and we leave on our own. I know, yes, but I just love being single. I am 52 and I have had long relationships. I had a relationship that was 11 years. I had another one that was 5. I was deeply in love with those people. I have had other relationships, but I'm not really willing to compromise. And relationships, you know, where you have a partner, there's a lot of compromise involved. And I love my life, and I love my friends, and I love my family, and I have a really full life, but I don't really want a partner right at the moment. Who knows? Maybe one day, but I'm very happy being single. And then how long have I lived in London? I have lived in London now a long time. So over 30 years. Like I said, I grew up just outside of London, but I moved here as soon as I could, and it's my home, and I love it intensely. A little bonus one here, a hot tool question, thank you very much. What do you think about the GHD hairbrush? If I'm honest, I don't love GHD products. Controversial yet bold. I know. I don't love them because they don't have a thermostat on them, and that for me is a problem. I'm a Cloud9 kind of guy. I love Cloud9 electric hot tools because they have a thermostat on them. They're beautifully made. But just to answer the question, digressing very slightly, the hairbrush I think is great if you're a consumer. I don't think it's something you need in your kit as a hair professional, but if you have it and you use it and you love it, then that's brilliant. But I think a brush is something that's really good for you to be able to style your own hair at home. Please, 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 if you're going to use anything from GHD, you must have heat protector, and I would say perhaps a couple of layers of heat protection, some sort of styling spray, and then something that is specifically for heat protection, because those products get hot. And the last thing you want to do is burn your hair. But yes, if you're a consumer at home, I think it would be great. And last but by no means least, the lovely Caris, who I met recently. Shout out to you, Caris, if you see this. Met recently at Salon International on the K18 show that I was hosting, who is definitely going to be a star of tomorrow. Absolutely amazing. She has asked me, seeing as my channel is all about hair, what is your all-time favorite color trend? Now, I have been slightly cynical about this in the past, because I did always believe in years gone by that color trends were kind of pushed by brands who had something they wanted to sell us as hair professionals or as consumers. But I think that social media has kind of changed that, which is great, because, you know, short form content especially does move trends on very, very quickly. We're seeing things like sunflower blondes now, and tomato girl makeup, and strawberry girl, they've already been and gone. And we saw cowboy copper, for example, which did come from social media. So my favorite trends of all time, they're a real mixture. I love really graphic, bold hair color. I was watching, I've been rewatching Sex and the City, and in season 6, Carrie she goes a bit darker, and then she has a very graphic face frame. I remember doing that a lot. You either had Rachel hair or Carrie hair in the 90s when I was a hairdresser. And I did a lot of razor cuts and a lot of very bold graphic face frames, and which has come around again, and I've done them recently, and I really love that too. I really love Vivids. I absolutely love Vivids. So when they were really big at the beginning of social media, I had a lot of fun with those, and I still have fun with them, and I want to feel really creative. I love to get into Vivids. But then at the same time, Caris, I love really commercial, beautiful, pretty hair. Quite bold, but I love bolder face frames and then very dimensional foil highlighting techniques. So it doesn't really answer your question, but I kind of love all of the trends, if you like. So that was a lot of fun. And I just want to say another thank you. This is the first time when I've done a shout out for questions. I think because my channel has grown so much this year and my other platforms have grown a lot too, that this is the first time that I've been inundated with really fantastic questions. So if I didn't get to your question, I apologize. But we'll do this again maybe sometime. Maybe I'll think of doing some sort of get ready with me with Ask Me Anything too. But really fantastic. Thank you so much if you gave me a question. If you did enjoy this video, then you know exactly what to do. A huge thank you if you've got to the end. You guys are awesome and you make this channel so much fun to create content for. So thanks again for that. You all take lots of care and I'll see you all in the next one.